Coming up tonight, good news for the Bahamas. The United States has congratulated our country for maintaining Tier 1 status in the 2023 USG Trafficking in Persons Tip Report. Plus, giving the gift of Bahamian love and pride, a national blood drive. The road to 50 is pressing onward. Stay close for that. And it's Father's Day, so the fathers of Our News tell us about striking that work-life balance. It's all straight ahead as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepherd. A special happy Father's Day to all of the wonderful dads celebrating today. The United States Embassy congratulating the government of the Bahamas for maintaining its Tier 1 status in the 2023 USG Trafficking in Persons Tip Report. This year's Tip Report highlights the Bahamas' efforts in convictions, a robust educational campaign, sustained victim support services, and regional collaboration. However, the Tip Report noted the Bahamas government did not initiate any prosecutions, continue to identify few victims, and will need stronger engagement to support victims in vulnerable groups such as stateless persons, asylum seekers, and LGBTQI+ individuals. The 2023 Tip Report was released on Thursday by U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. The United States' Trafficking Victims Protection Act requires the U.S. government to release a tip report assessing government efforts around the world to combat human trafficking. The Bahamas maintained Tier 1 status since 2015. Tier 1 is the highest ranking and requires governments to demonstrate appreciable progress each year in combating trafficking. Meantime, Public Hospitals Authority partnering with the Independent Secretariat to host a national blood drive yesterday. Official opening ceremonies taking place on Grand Bahama and here in the capital. Pan American Health Organization country representative Dr. Eldania Busan emphasizing the importance of blood donations, adding the need for blood is universal, yet sadly access to it is not.
A shortage of blood can mean that a person who's been in a serious car accident, a mother who recently delivered a baby, a person undergoing surgery, or someone battling cancer may not have access to blood, to that gift of life. So regular, voluntary, unpaid blood donations are very important. They're vital for many patients, including those who need lifelong and regular blood transfusions for conditions like sickle cell anemia, which is something that is fairly common in our region.
One blood donation can save up to 3 lives, and blood replenishes itself in just over 2 months. Blood bank supervisor at Doctors Hospital, Brenzel Roll, adding donated blood has an expiration date.
All the blood that we get today, in 35 days, if it's not flowing through the veins of a loved one or someone we know, we will have to discard. But that also means that we will have to re-up the blood bank once again to get blood for those who will be in need in a month's time.
A number of regular blood donors were also honored and recognized for donating the gift of life at least 3 times within any given year. Managing Director of the PHA, Dr. Abined Roll, thanking those donors.
I wish to salute you for your continuous efforts to personify this year's theme: give blood, give plasma, share life, share often.
I found out that giving blood, it keeps you active, healthy, and you don't get sick. You don't get the cold or anything.
A shooting Saturday night has left a man dead and another nursing injuries in hospital. Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Christine Skipping says police were alerted by shot spotter technology shortly before 9 o'clock last night.
Preliminary information indicate that the deceased was along with a male when they were approached by a third male who was clad in a black hooded jacket and a jeans pants. The third male and the deceased got into an altercation, and subsequently he was shot multiple times. During the incident, a bystander who was in front of the business establishment just behind us. He was shot to the buttocks. He was taken to hospital where at present his condition is unknown.
This latest incident comes less than 24 hours after a man was found dead in a shanty town off Cowpen Road. Police were unable to say the approximate age of the victim and could not give any additional information at the time. Skippings, however, had this to say to residents about conflict resolution.
We don't see eye to eye. We will never see eye to eye. And so we got to be able to find a way to resolve our conflicts without resorting to acts of violence. If there are persons who feel that they need assistance or training as to how to resolve conflicts, I'm going to ask them to reach out to the National Crime Prevention Office. Also going to ask them to reach out to our domestic violence unit so that they can be given the skills needed to be able to resolve their conflicts amicably.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, the Step Ahead Chess Club holds a tournament with the Big Apple in view. And the fathers of Our News talk about striking that work-life balance. Stay close. Our News returns after this break.
If new, Heineken Silver was a riveting Viking saga.
Lars the 12th, your family tortured my first wife and stole my second favorite goat. Now you want to marry my daughter. Okay.
All the taste, no bitter endings. Smooth, fresh, silver.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now.
Go to doctors.
3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome back. Back in 2015, then math teacher at Bishop Michael Eldon High School, Sean Sorsby, founded the Pawn Stormers Chess Club with the aim of showing students the many doors that could be opened to them through the sport. Sorsby is also the executive director of a Step Ahead Chess Club in Chicago, where he now resides.
Our mission at a Step Ahead Chess is to create the next generation of problem solvers, critical thinkers, and future leaders. So chess, not only does it help with your math skills, because you're problem solving and critical thinking over a game. So these students, while they're practicing and playing and having fun, they're developing those brain muscles.
Under Sorsby's leadership some years ago, the local team often traveled to international tournaments, bringing home several championships. Now, Sorsby back on Grand Bahamas this weekend, hosting a fundraising tournament for their first post-COVID exploration trip.
We're bringing our players out, really celebrating everything that they've been learning, and the top players here today are going to earn scholarship money to be able to travel over to New York. So that's covering flights, hotel, meals, tournament registration, all the different activities that we're going to do in New York City for all of those players.
Brianna Bowe is one of those students that kept the club at BMES going. She is now preparing to attend university with a full scholarship.
I'm going away to school at Barry University to study graphic design, and I think there's a chess club there also because they have a lot of programs there and also a lot of clubs there also. So just going to explore how they play, and then they teach me and I teach them what I know.
Wilton Cartwright is a former chess student turned coach at Philander Smith College in Arkansas, where he also earned a full scholarship. He shares what it's like giving back.
It's been really good teaching these kids. Like, I even get to see some of them grow up because there was this one kid, like he started off, I think he started off in grade 2. He was like 6 or 7, but now he's 8, 9. Like, he hasn't grown that much, but the comparison from him going from a beginner player in chess to a more advanced player has been astronomical.
Coach Sorsby is calling on corporate Bahamas to chip in.
I'm just so proud of these students. You know, when I left Grand Bahama, I had a thing about not wanting to leave them hanging. You know, we had did so many beautiful things here, but to see them take it upon themselves to actually keep the club going You know, they really deserve this. They really deserve this. So we're calling on the public to help us out. Sponsorship opportunities, anything to try to get as many kids as possible over to compete.
The Kingdor National Parkinson's Foundation Ball is returning on June 24th at the Atlantis Ballroom for the first time since the pandemic. The foundation's president, Mavis Darling Hill, says they've pulled all the stops to make sure that this year's ball is like no other.
When you enter the hall at the Atlantis Ballroom, you're going to really feel that you are a star. We're going to have pictures will be taken on the red carpet, and we're going to just encourage people to just really enjoy the event, enjoy the company. We're going to have persons from all strata of our society, which is important, and we always want people to feel comfortable in our setting.
And Darling Hill says there will be much more mixing and mingling than at a traditional ball where people stay within their own circles. She encourages guests to get up and network.
So we encourage people when they come to have a ball. Of course, listen to what is happening, dance and have fun, but no more than the little circle at your table, okay? That's what we're going to emphasize. We're going to also, the music is going to be great. We're going to have, like I said, the Defense Force band, but then we'll also have Ambassa. Tickets for that event is $250. Tickets can be gotten at Carey's department store on Mackey Street. And so we're encouraging people to just come, take advantage of that, and network.
The hard-working men that make the magic happen here at Our News are also fathers. And on this Father's Day, they tell us how they balance work, life, and fatherhood. Berthany McDermott had a sit-down with them. Here's their story.
These three dads say balancing work and fatherhood is no easy feat, but it's something they've now mastered. Patrick Major is Master Control Supervisor at RTV. The father of three says it isn't easy balancing the two, but he has a team that helps him.
One of the great things is that, in everything is team efforts. So at work, they'll be like, hey, Patty, listen, it's getting close to 3. You need to get the kids, right? So they remind me. And then the kids would be like, hey, Dad, you say you have to go to work at this time? It's 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to go. So it's kind of, it works out where everybody looks out for each other. So it's that nice balance.
He's thankful for his village that assists with the kids in times when he and his wife have to work. With only 2 people in the department, Harold Dorset, who works alongside Major, says he finds as much time as he could to spend with his son.
It could be tedious, but you try to make it work as best as you could. So even if it's just when I get home from work, normally it's not late in the nights when I do get home from work, but if I have an off day where I don't have to go in the office and my co-worker's in the office, I would try to take him out, do something with him, shoot a little hoops or something like that.
Meanwhile, our new sportscaster Tage Adderley was a stay-at-home father for a little over a year and a half before stepping back into the workforce. When he returned to work, he says it was a challenge.
I think it was more my own nerves than it actually being difficult, because I was when I went back to work, I was nervous, so I'm just gonna leave it. Even though she goes to nursery, everything I do, I try to fit around spending time with her and taking care of her. It's difficult, and you're not always going to have balance. Things aren't always going to be 50-50. Sometimes my wife is going to have to do more stuff. Sometimes I'm going to have to do it. But I just give as much as I could give.
On this Father's Day, these dads gave this bit of advice to those in a similar situation.
Don't be scared to ask for help if you can. My family has been great. My parents and my sister and my sister-in-law and everything, they've been great. Don't be scared to ask for help.
Your job definitely is important because it provides for your children. But the memories and the times that you spend with them, you can't really pay for it. So I'd say just try to balance it out as best as you could.
Don't give up. It's only hard in the beginning. And when you get through it, and once you find that balance, and the next thing also is let your friends know how important your family are.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Adorable kids and great advice, gents. Well, just after the break, the Mako Aquatic Swim Club is still in the lead at the National Swimming Championship taking place this weekend. Stay close for that. And the Betty Kelly Canning Aquatic Center is all set for a facelift soon. Parliamentary Secretary Bacchus Roll tells us about it straight ahead after this break. Welcome back. Heading into the final day of the Bahamas National Swimming Championships, the Mako Aquatic Swim Club still maintains its first place position. Our Sasha Lightbourne attended last night's session. Let's take a look.
The first 3 days have been great. We had some excellent swims. We're very happy with the point standing, but mostly very happy with our swimmers' performances. They're really well. Most of them have been hitting personal best times and a few records falling, so we're very pleased with our performance.
That was Mako Aquatics head coach Trevano McPhee, who spoke about Mako's comfortable lead heading into the final day of competition. After night 3, Mako had 2,086 points, followed by the Barracuda Swim Club with 1,227 points and Alpha Aquatics with 1,113 points. Now, night 3 was delayed due to rain. We asked Bahamas Aquatics President Algernon Cargill about its impact.
The rain is going to delay us tonight a bit, but according to the rules, once there's no lightning, we can swim. There's no lightning now, so we can swim and swim safely. The meet is going extremely well. As you can hear, the crowds are there. The swimmers are all excited. Some personal bests, several national records, and we could have asked anything more.
But once the night got underway, more medals were given out. We spoke to some of the winners from the 200-meter fly races.
It felt pretty decent at first, but then from yesterday, I was a bit tired, so going into the second 100, it started to hurt a lot more. But it was overall a pretty good race.
I wasn't sure if I was going to swim the race this morning. I was a little hesitant, but I swam it, and it hurt a lot, but I'm glad I did it. We trained together a lot. We trained for this 2-fly together. I wanted to go a little bit faster, but still went PB. Can't be mad about that, but just proud that we were able to get the points and continue on with the meet.
It feels great. Really tiring. I never thought I would have did it, but through the grace of God, I'd get to go.
I had a little setbacks after Carifta, so getting the silver was a big accomplishment. I did add time, but otherwise it was a good race. I really pushed my hardest, so yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Now the final night of competition should be underway at this hour. We'll be sure to bring you a full wrap-up of the entire weekend on tomorrow night's news. Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
Now, despite inclement weather, for the last 3 days, the stands at the Betty Kelly Canning Aquatic Center have been filled to capacity with parents, sponsors, and swim fanatics all watching the Bahamas National Swimming Championships. But one may wonder, if we're at capacity now, what will happen when we host the Carifta Swimming Championships next year? Our Sasha Lightbourne put that exact question to Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Bacchus Roll.
Well, there have been meetings already at the Ministry of Works along with the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, and they have been talking about expansion. Maybe not a physical expansion, but we're looking at rooms for added seating with regards to bleachers. The scope of works have already been carried out, so we know what upgrades need to happen, and the team with the Ministry of Works along with the director, they're on it. So we are well aware of what needs to happen, and we will be ready to host the Carifta Swim Championships next year.
The Parliamentary Secretary, an avid sportsman himself, adding the government will do all it can to continue encouraging Bahamian youth through sports.
It's important that the children and the young adults in the country see that the Bahamas government does take athletics very seriously. It's hard work. Swimming is very hard work. Life is hard. I'm sure training for swimming is training for life in general. You know, we're so proud of these kids. Bahamas Swim Championships, the best in the Bahamas, and we just want them to do well.
Earlier this week, we talked about Dalen Adderley, the Texas Southern outfielder who was named to the All-American third team by the Baseball Writers Association of America. We had a chance to sit down and talk to Adderley about his career so far, his outstanding season, and his future plans.
We had a
a chance to sit down and talk to Adderley about his career so far, his outstanding season, and his future plans.
I felt as though this year would have been really good before it even happened.
Adderley came into the season with the belief that he would do well. He finished as one of the nation's leaders in OPS and batting average. For his accomplishments, he would be named Conference Player of the Year, Conference Hitter of the Year, and All-American. Before he patrolled center field at TSU, he was an infielder for Division II Tusculum University in Tennessee and Wabash Community College in Illinois.
I played shortstop at Tusculum, I played second base at Wabash, and then I played outfield at TSU.
He knew that a position change would help him cement his spot in the lineup.
I think they wanted me to be in the lineup every day, and that was one of the positions that they needed to somebody to play every day. And you can't knock down playing every day because that's how you're gonna get your numbers up, and that's how you're gonna get seen.
His numbers can be dismissed as inflated against inferior SWAC competition, but HBCU baseball isn't easy, and he raised his game against teams from the best conferences in the country.
I felt like I played better when we played the bigger schools, like the Kansases, the Houstons, the Mizzous, and I felt like my level of play was even better. But the SWAC is hard. Like, people may downplay the SWAC, but like playing against people like Grambling, like a SWAC is a lot of emotion. So, you really got to keep a level head.
The junior is draft eligible, so look for him to play on the next level real soon.
If a team likes me and a team wants me to be a part of what they got going on, that's definitely my dream, to continue my baseball career at a higher level. So, yeah, I definitely take it. But, if I have to play another year, then I will.
Whether he leaves this year or next, look for Dalen Adderley to be a professional baseball player soon. For Our Sports, I'm Tage Adderley.
Thanks so much, Tage. And for those who feel this heat is unbearable, the weather forecast is coming right up just so you can see what you're up against weather-wise. And uniting the world through rhythm is what Gifton Jillen plans on doing. Our Jean Joseph tells us how on the other side of this break. Don't touch that remote. For sticking with us. The heart of a father is the masterpiece of nature. And speaking of nature, let's see what's happening out there weather-wise over the next few days. Gifton Jillen is a self-taught jazz trumpeter who became a composer and band leader in New York and burst onto the scene with his 2020 debut album, True Design. He's now following up with his new album, The Island Dreamer, the first part of a trilogy. Join our Jean Joseph as he tells you how Gifton hopes to unite the world through rhythm.
Gifton Jillen picked up a trumpet as a little boy and hasn't put it down since. His early influences came from all around him, especially at home, where he listened to a variety of music, and church, where his mother was heavily involved. Fast forward to meeting his mentor, bassist Adrian D'Aguilar, and the story starts to snowball, taking Gifton on a path to meeting and learning from jazz legends like Wynton Marsalis, Barry Harris, and the late Roy Hargrove, among others. It was by design that he would emerge from such a diverse cultural melting pot, going from Lincoln Boulevard to the Lincoln Center, and in 2020, he released his debut album, True Design. Though the pandemic slowed him down, he used that time to work on his new project, The Island Dreamer. He says the process helped him realize that we are more alike than different.
What you can expect is music that is inspired by the African diaspora. So, and also the music that I grew up listening to, Haitian music, Bahamian music, all that music all connects to Africa. And you look at just like the thread of rhythms, they're like these like rhythmic things that all connects us.
He says the Island Dreamer is a journey to the Bahamas that transcends borders.
We're kind of taking people to the Bahamas. You'll see like the journey, you know, the first few songs are like welcoming people to the Bahamas essentially and showing people different parts of the Bahamas. Then as we go along, we go through my musical journey of finding about Haitian music and all that music, like the worship service and then, you know, jazz music and the connection to that and how I got, you know, connected through that rhythmic commonality I was talking about, right?
While his music is a key focus, Gifton also provides opportunities for other musicians to learn and find mentors through his In the Shed program, an online community of dedicated musicians of different skill levels from around the world. He recently held a workshop at The Current as a part of his efforts.
We have the community online that's talking about music and building, and we have like opportunities for people to learn from me, from all the instructors. He's an instructor. Like everybody that's a part of this community are able to impart knowledge onto whoever. So we have people in Israel right now, right? People in Switzerland, people. So it's like that kind of thing is connecting all people from different parts of the world to share knowledge.
Gifton says it's important for musicians to reach back and pull other musicians up, and he wants to be a part of that change.
Seeing everybody out there, seeing everybody talk about the music, ask questions, you find that, oh, there's some solutions going on just off the spot, right? And it's just a group of us collectively talking about something. And we never have a chance to really have those conversations in the music, you know, and there's a disconnect. But our goal is to kind of bridge the gap.
Visit giftonjellin.com to find out more about his projects and the In the Shed community. Reporting for Our News Weekend Arts and Entertainment, I'm Gene Joseph.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jean. And thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of our producer and the entire technical team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Once again, we're wishing all of the amazing dads a happy Father's Day. And of course, to the world's greatest daddy, my dad, Virgil Shepherd in Bimini. Happy Father's Day. I love you. Enjoy your evening, gents.